I'm Mac, and I met Jesus the other day. Don't worry, this is his blood. So, I work at a grocery store, for those of you who don't know. And, at a grocery store, especially at night, you can meet some interesting people. So, I went up to the checkout and I just wanted to get some water. And I didn't mean to meet Jesus, which I did. Jesus Scott, we'll call him. He said his name was Scott, but he also told me he was Jesus, so Jesus Scott it is. As I was at the checkout getting my water and a pack of cookies, because that's what every growing boy needs, I noticed this guy sitting at the bench by the self-checkouts, and our eyes kind of met, and then I was like, focus, get your cookies and water, get out of there. And he didn't let that happen. He said, "Hey, how you doing?" I was like, "I'm all right. How are you?" He said, I'm all right. I'm just going to be here for the next 4.5 hours. Yeah? Yeah, I just need to return this hammer. They let you buy anything you want whenever you want, but they don't let you return it whenever you want. I don't get it. And he continues, I just need to return this hammer so I can get back to work because I'm making the world a better place. Well, now I'm intrigued. What does this guy do? Maybe he's some kind of hero. Maybe he's some kind of something. I don't know. But I'm confused and I'm intrigued. And I've only got a couple minutes because I'm not on break anymore. I just want to get some water so I have something to chug in between carts that I run. So I made the mistake, everyone. I asked the question. Oh, what do you do? And of course his answer was, oh, I work for God. And for just a second, I thought, oh, this could be fun. I could use my new atheist powers and maybe have a little debate. And then I remembered, I'm at work. 1, you're not supposed to do that at work. 2, you shouldn't do that at work. 3, again, I'm not on break. I don't have time for a philosophical, religious, non-religious, whatever discussion. I don't have time to buy what this guy is selling or refute it. But it's too late. He's decided to tell me his life story. So now I guess I have to listen. Not just to be a nice guy, but also because I'm a manager of sorts at my workplace, and he's a customer of sorts who's going to be in the store for the next 4.5 hours. And I wish I had some Jesus blood on me then. For you guys, I'm going to try to keep this short, because he kept me there for at least 40 minutes. And other managers at the store were like, do we need to help Mac? Because, I don't know, that guy's kind of weird. And he's been standing there talking to him for a while. He usually doesn't do that. They should have helped me. They should have got me out of there, but they didn't. Those bitches. So let me tell you about Jesus Scott just a little bit. Jesus Scott has a boy. I think he's about 4 years old. Not quite sure. He can't hang out with his boy very much anymore because his ex-wife, ex-girlfriend, one or the other, he might have said either or. I don't put a lot of trust in Jesus. He can't hang out with him because him and his girl are separated for whatever reason. And the whatever reason just so happens to be something about meth. It's not a good thing to do for some reason. And he doesn't seem to get it. The way that he explained it to me is something about the pharmaceutical companies can give you drugs. The government can give you drugs, but meth is bad, and he doesn't understand. He's trying to work against the system. He made a point to point out that he was making the point of sitting there for the next 4.5 hours to work against our system, our broken system, of why he can't return a hammer at 3 o'clock in the morning. Don't know where he's going with this. I don't know where he's going with any of this. What I do know is that he misses his boy. He was a good father, at least in his eyes, but I would only agree with him to the fact that he really seemed to love the time that he spent with his kid, and that's a basis for any good parent. He really made it sound like that was the light of his life, and I appreciate that in a human being. Jesus got into the Bible about 8 or 9 months ago, and since then he has decided that he either is or has the spirit of Jesus Christ. He said he went his whole life without really knowing the Bible, knowing Christianity. But he spent the last 9 months really learning things. And what he took away from it is that he needs to be a good person. But he's always been a good person, a trustworthy person. He's never done anything wrong. And again, meth isn't bad. He went on to tell me about good people that he's met in prison when he had to go. And he also went on to tell me about this girl that he followed down to Georgia that he is in love with. And he would follow her to the ends of the earth. And also something about, and I'm saying a lot of there's something about, because I wasn't trying to listen the entire time. I was trying to get back to work. And I tried to end the conversation like every 10 minutes. And just like, hey, yeah, cool, that's great, but I gotta go. Because I've got shit to do tonight. I know you just gotta sit here to return this hammer in 4 hours. But I just came to get water and cookies and go, dude. So, no? Okay, we'll keep going. You know how, like, usually the crazy people know how to, like, keep you where you are to keep talking to you? It's kind of like asking an old person, how are you doing today? But then you kind of get how they've been doing for the last 40 years. Oops. So, where was I? Georgia. He goes down to Georgia, and he finds this girl, but she's in the back of a cop cruiser. Don't know why, but he felt it was a trap, so he couldn't go up and talk to her. So he had to let her go for some reason, but he'd drop anything to go find her again, and he will, and then they'll be together forever, because she's the girl for him. He feels it in his bones, and God agrees with him. And we all know that that's really enough justification to do whatever you need to get whatever you want. The other thing that he mentioned, which was extra delightful, is how he was in the mental hospital, or while he was in the mental hospital, they were trying to kill him with whatever they were shooting up into his veins. Sedative, probably? No, they were trying to kill him, he said. And as they were trying to inject things in his veins to kill him, he told me probably 3, 4, 5 times that, you can't kill me because I'm Jesus! And I'm just like, damn, dude. And then he'd say, yeah, they don't like me there. And then after they tried to inject things into him, they fed him food that also tried to kill him. I'm just like, dude, it's not that hard to kill a person. If they wanted to kill you, you'd probably already be dead. Of course I didn't say that. I just listened to his story because I kind of had no choice. He went on to tell me more about his life and more about the time that him and his son spent together. He went through the story of him in the mental hospital about 3 or 4 times. The second thing that he actually said to me was how he was sober right now. And he also continued to assert that he was Jesus Christ. Now, where this really began to become a bigger, man, I don't know where it started to begin to be a problem for me. But when it really struck me as a problem was when he asserted towards the end of this conversation is that he had friends or people he was associated with that stole from him. And that's why he bought the hammer. And he justified this by, 1, he tried to buy a bat, but he couldn't. And 2, is that if you steal from him, you steal from God. It is the same. because God needs that money for him to be able to change the world. So he was going to do something about it. But there's a light at the end of this weird dark tunnel. He was returning the hammer. Not because he used it, but because he decided he was not going to use it. And he's a very, very honest person. And I didn't know what to do at that point. This guy obviously has issues. And I'm not a manager at a grocery store, so I can pass judgment on people. So there's no big grand ending to this. I finally broke away. I don't really remember the last things that he said. Towards the very end of that story, though, was that part about why he bought the hammer and why he was returning it. The reason that I'm telling you this story is, one, because it's kind of fun. And two, because I'm not trying to pick on this guy. I'm not trying to pick on Jesus Scott. A lot, anyways. I'm picking on him a little bit. But that's not the main point. The main point is because this guy has issues, if you haven't noticed by the story. And people like this, who have issues like this, or any other issues really, sometimes they turn to Jesus. Sometimes they turn to religion. And sometimes it doesn't help. Sometimes they use religion to justify their wrongs. And they use their bad reasoning to justify the wrongs in their life as rights, like pharmaceutical drugs and recreational drugs. That's not a religious thing. That's just a bad argument and not a lot of common sense. And probably a lot of burnt out brain cells. But what I really want to point out is that him finding Jesus Christ actually makes this guy more dangerous. He literally thinks that he is either Jesus Christ or he has the spirit of Jesus Christ in him, and that he is meant to do good, and anything that he does is justified. And that makes him so dangerous. And people like this need real help. I don't know what we can do in the atheist community, if anything, to help him. I know religion really tries to bring in people of this demographic or related demographics to help them and set them on the right path. But there's got to be a better secular way that doesn't divinely justify anything that they do, or is just a quick interpretation away from it. So that's really all I have for you. I just wanted to tell you that story and tell you what I took from it. If anyone has any thoughts or any ideas of how you would have handled the situation differently. Remember, I was at work and I couldn't really get in a debate with this gentleman or really get involved in any way without causing issues at the store. But any thoughts that you have, I would like to hear them. Other than that, please like and share this video, and I will see you guys next time. I'm going to finish my Jesus blood and go the fuck to bed. What were you going to say? What were you going to say? Tell me what you were going to say. Tell everyone what you were going to say. Say it, say it, say it. Oh, you can't think when you're being goofy. Stop being goofy. Goofy fuck. Jesus blood.